Welcome back, everyone! This is Geronitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 29, and we are continuing with Thaumcraft. Alright, so last episode we covered basically the basics of Thaumcraft, getting all of the different aspects researched. Now we have all the aspects. One of the aspects I didn't cover at the end in last episode, like I said, was hard to find, was Vitium or Taint. If you combine Magic and Perdito, Magic and Chaos, it gives you that Taint aspect, and I believe that is the last one. So if I'm missing one, I'm not aware of it, so yeah. Alright, so in between episodes, I have done a whole bunch of research. As I said last episode, I'm not that good at research overall, but when I get into the right mindset, it becomes not that big a deal. So I got into the right mindset, and I just researched and researched and researched and researched. At one point, I actually ran out of research points, so I went out scanning more things. When you're trying to get a lot of basic stuff like air, water, fire, the six primals, one of the really good things to do is to go find aura nodes and scan aura nodes. Every time you scan something new, it gives you research points, and aura nodes, since no two are identical, always give you research points. So I went out into the world with my little thermometer here, and I found a couple of nodes over there, some nodes over here, a ton of nodes over there. So yes, with all those nodes available, I was able to get plenty of research points, and I did lots of research. Okay. So now this episode, we're going to cover getting power in your wand, using the power to craft things, making it cost less to craft things, and using the crucible. So let's get started. First thing you know is that last episode we made our iron-capped wooden wand. Okay, and we don't want to use the iron-capped wooden wand. It's the weakest, crappiest wand in the game, but it's the only one we can use for now. So when we look in here, one of the things that we researched, or that I researched, I don't know if you guys did or not, but maybe you did, maybe you didn't, is the auras and nodes. We did advanced node tapping. Advanced node tapping makes it so that you can draw Vis into your wand faster. Okay, so it doubles you can, suck up stuff from aura nodes into your wand faster. Master node tapping, which basically means that it is now 3 times faster than normal. And then the node preserver. This is an important one because basically it says you have better control over the amount of V that you draw, right? So you always leave at least one aspect in the node, unless you're sneaking. If you're sneaking, it will automatically drain it down to nothing. Now, this level of control is not possible when using wands crafted from normal wood and iron. So, in other words, having Node Preserver Research doesn't actually do you any good whatsoever as long as you're still using your normal, everyday, crappy wand. Okay, now there's nothing we can do about that at the moment because we need to make a better wand, but to make a better wand, we need to use power in the wand. So the first thing we're going to do this episode is we're going to go ahead and start filling up our wand. Now, if you find yourself an aura node, as we have here, we have 31 order and 37 chaos. When we point the wand at it, if you look in the top over here, top left corner of the screen, you'll see that you have a gauge there. When we right click on the aura node, you can see it's starting to suck up aspects, okay? And because we did those researches, it's doing it really quickly. Now you'll notice that we still have 7 and 12 left. This wand can only hold 25 of each type, okay? Now you can see I have 25 of order and 25 of Perdito, okay? So you notice it doesn't show anything on the others because we've never had any of the others in here before. So let me see, where's that other one? This one has, I can't read it very well. It looks like it says 70 air. So we should be able to just hold right click on this one and it's going to drain it out and fill us up as well. So now when we look at this, it shows that we have 25 air as well. And as you can see, we still have 45, it looks like about 45. It's hard to read. But we still have plenty of air left in this node. Okay, now these nodes will slowly regenerate, and we can re-tap them at a later date. Now, if you tap a node that has less than 25 in it, you have to be careful with this wand because with the junky wand, you have a chance of taking every single piece of aspect out of it. Okay, and if it reaches 0, then it has a chance that it will not regenerate. So if it doesn't regenerate, if it happens to be a node that only has that, whatever it is that you are draining out of it in it, when it hits 0, if it doesn't recharge, the node will just be destroyed. And we're going to go over land real quick to another node over here so I can show you, hopefully. I'm going to purposely drain one too far. So one thing you should notice is that anytime there's a village, villages typically have aura nodes close by, okay? Like right here, you can see that this grass is different. We have a tainted, sinister aura node right here. This one I'm not going to use for anything, so I don't mind if I drain it dry. Okay, so, hello, drainage. Oh, it only has the one that I already have. As you can see, this one has air and perdido. The other ones, this one has mortis and tenebris in it. Those cannot be drained into the wand because the wand can only accept primal aspects. However, there is a use for those particular things. Just because it doesn't have it for the wand, it doesn't mean it's useless. You can actually do something with it. Let's go ahead and get that one up there because it's got fire in it. And believe it or not, I looked around for a long time finding nodes that have fire in it. And fire seems to be that aspect that's going to be hard to come by. Fire is usually not the easiest to come by anyway, but I'm finding it a lot more difficult to come by than usual. And I'm going to be doing some platforming here, trying to get up to this thing. There we go. Alright, so this one has 16 fire. Because fire is so hard to come by, I am not going to drain this down to 0. Oh wow, I stopped right at 1. So yeah, give me just a second. I'm going to walk around to my aura nodes. We're going to finish filling this wand up, I hope. I think that's the only fire node I have. Other than I think there's one in the nether that I found. Usually nodes are easy to find in the nether, but they weren't so simple this time. So, we'll be alright. Let me go finish filling the wand, and I'll meet you back at base. By the way, just for reference, if you're ever looking for a node that has aqua on it, it's always a good idea to go ahead and be... Dadgummit. Get me out of the boat. Thank you. To look over in the water. You usually will find one that has plenty in it. So, since that's the only node, only aspect we need now, would you stop doing that? There we go. Which, by the way, if you take a boat out on the water at night, you have a very good chance of running into the aura nodes out on the water. They're very easy to see at night because they give a slight glow, and you'll see that the shade of the water will change ever so slightly from where the aura node is. And the node is always just above the water, so you can see it. Like, well, actually, I can see that one right there. Why isn't that one marked? Did I miss that one? Is this boat ever going to be a pain in the butt? Stop. Stop. Thank you. Oh no, I did scan that one already. I don't wonder why I didn't mark it. And of course my boat's floating away. Either way, so yeah, at night on the water, keep an eye out for a slight difference in the shade of the water, because the aura node changes it ever so slightly because it gives off a tiny bit of light. So 200 meters till we get home. Meet you there. Alrighty, now that we're home, we can actually go ahead and do something with our wand. First off, we're going to be doing something here in the arcane work table, because I can never remember the name of it. When you put this in the arcane work table here in this slot right here, you'll notice that it shows that you have a capacity of 25 and that it has 25 of each primal aspect in it. Okay, now the one thing you want to notice is it says 110% average VCOS. Okay, so it's basically going to cost 110% instead of just the normal 100%. Because you're using such a junky wand, you're going to use 10% more than you normally would. Okay, so that's going to be slightly problematic. But one of the things that we can do is we can go ahead and make a better wand. Okay, so we're going to make a better wand with this particular charge, because what we want to do, hopefully, is make it so that we can use, we can have less loss there. Actually, let me put these boats in there. Toss those in there. All right, so one of the researches I did, and I can finally chop this tree down. It's been sitting here for so long, and I'm like, gotta chop it down. Gotta chop it down. But no, I was waiting. So we're going to chop down this great wood tree. Great wood trees are very easy to see. They're very specific color. They're very tall, and they are great trees. They're great wood trees, yes. Anyway, so we need this great wood for more than one purpose, but at this point it's just the one. These leaves take a very long time to decay. Somebody remind me here in just a minute to make sure that I get those, come back here and gather any saplings that may drop. Come on, pull it down. All right, cool. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a great wood rod. Okay, and that is going to be the basis of a new wand. And here in just a minute, we'll go back over there and grab any saplings that come out of that. All right, so in the arcane work table, we're going to take two great wood logs, and we're going to put them on an angle like this. And it says right here that it requires 3.3 V in order to do this particular crafting. Now, if we look here in our thaumaturgy section, it talks about all the different wands. And yes, there's a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff has been unlocked because I've been doing a lot of research. But just trust me, this is the first step you want to take, the Great Wood Wand Core. Okay, Great Wood Wand, it requires 3 Perdito to make, but we're doing 3.3 because of that 10% increase because of the junky wand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make this wand core. As a matter of fact, well, no, let's just make the one. I was going to make 2, but I don't want to take a chance of not having enough of this left over. So once we have the Great Wood Wand core, then we want to put some caps on it. Okay, the normal caps are the iron caps, but we don't want to use iron caps. We want to use something better. We could try to use thaumium wand caps, but thaumium wand caps have to be charged. They have to be done in a different type of crafting mechanism, infusion crafting, and we're not ready for that yet. So the next best thing to thaumium is gold. Okay, so we're going to make some gold wand caps. Gold wand caps are very simple. They just require some gold nuggets and 3 air, 3 fire, and 3 order. Okay, now to do this, we're actually going to need, open up, thank you. We're going to need 2 caps, so we're going to need 10 nuggets. And yes, I had to think about that for a second there because, you know, brains. Alright, so we're slowly but surely using up the charge in this wand, but we're using it up for a good cause. Alright, so now we have 2 golden wand caps, and we still have about 18.4 in each of the lowest ones. So then we're going to take the Great Wood Rod, and we're going to put the caps on either side, and now it's going to cost 9.9 of each aspect to go ahead and make ourselves a Great Wood Wand. Now, the cool thing about this is that the gold-banded Great Wood Wand can hold 50 of each type, and when we pull this out of here, when we look at it in the table, it shows that, no, it doesn't show anything. Hang on a second here. It's not going to show me because there's nothing in it. Which, by the way, this will hold more than this Aura Node has to offer, but if you notice, when you look at it, we still have 1 of each of those left, because it's not going to drain the last bit out because of the research that we did. So, now we don't have to worry about destroying nodes. And yes, I said I was going to show you me intentionally destroying one, and I decided not to because, yeah, I'm not going to intentionally destroy one. So now when we put this in here, it shows us that it is 100% average V cost. So we don't have any loss whatsoever. Alright, so now, let's see, you know what? I'll bet you that I could probably go ahead and make another one of these. Let's try it. Let's drain this other wand out, 'cause I think I'm just going to throw this wand away. I don't really need to keep a really blah wand. So let me see what we can do here. We probably won't be able to assemble it. We'll probably need just a little bit more. Yep, we're missing fire, air, and order. So, yeah, that's not going to work. But that's all right. We still have the 1 wand, and we're going to go ahead and go fill this up. So, give me a minute. I'm going to go fill this. Well, it's going to take a while to fill this up, because filling wands up is not fun whatsoever. Now, there is actually another way we can do this, and it's not really the greatest. When you kill monsters, you might notice that other than the experience orbs that drop off of them, there is actually a couple of little, I don't know how to describe them. They look kind of like experience orbs, but they're not. Here, let's see if we can, I don't know if this chicken's going to give us any. Let's find out. Yeah, you see those right there? Those right there are aspect orbs, okay? They're tiny little things, and if you kill anything and you happen to step on it, it gives you a certain amount of aspects back into your wand, okay? They're not really great, and it would take a very long time killing a lot of monsters to successfully get anything from that. So, yeah, not the greatest in the world. But, I mean, if you have a mob farm and you don't mind just standing there killing things, you can technically charge your wand doing that. Alright, so give me a minute. I'll be right back after I get this wand filled back up. And you know what? We're so close. How much do we need? We need, well, air isn't, the fire is going to be the hard part, because the fire nodes are the ones that I don't have very many of. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to fill this up too. You know what? No, it really isn't worth it. We're just going to keep this off to the side, and we'll make use of it some other time. You know, like if I have something I can make out of it, then I will. Actually, I might could do something out of it. Give me a minute. Be right back. I'm going to go fill wands. The wand, not wands. I didn't get the second one. Either way, be right back. Alrighty, now that we got that part done, man, that was a bit more intense than I thought it would be. It took a lot longer than I thought. Filling up that much when it comes to the fire was very difficult. I actually had to go back and forth. Hi. You weren't there a second ago. Nor should you have survived getting shot. Sure, why not? Anyway, so the, I don't know, saying something, stupid zombie. Whatever, that took longer than I expected it to, but whatever. Okay, so, which by the way, every time this gets above 10 stacks of coal, which is what's being generated by my mob farm, I go ahead and make it into blocks, and either put it in here or out here. I'm going with out here for the moment because of reasons. Auto digging, let it roll. Good stuff. Alright, cool. So now that we have our wand refilled, we can go ahead and do... and by the way, I did actually remember. I went and got the Greatwood sapling. As I stopped the last segment, my wife said, "Go get your saplings." I went, "Oh, crap!" I found one sapling. So I don't know if there was more and they despawned, or... I just don't know. Either way. So now, we have a better wand, which is good. Now that we have a better wand, we won't have a penalty for using a bad wand. So we get to use 100% of V. And, oh, that's right. I wanted to form myself a second wand. You know, I don't think I want to do that yet. And I'll tell you why. Because the next thing we're going to do is, now we're not being charged extra for using this, I want to be charged less. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a way to be charged less. Okay? And that is to use is Artifice? Yes. Under Artifice, you have Enchanted Fabric. Okay, Enchanted Fabric is is made by having wool and string, and we can use it to make the Thaumaturgist's robes. Okay, we're going to need, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18 total. So yeah, we're going to need 18 total. So we're going to need 18 pieces of wool and a whole daggum bunch of string, because I'm not trying to do that kind of math right now. So, luckily, I knew I was going to be doing this, and in between episodes, do you mind? And in between episodes, I went and caught me some sheep, as you may have seen when I was refilling my nodes. Okay. By the way, shearing sheep is a lot more fun when you use Mana Steel shears. When you use the Mana Steel shears, you can shear indefinitely because they are recharged by your mana. So, hooray, more wool. So I have plenty of wool because, like I said, I knew I was going to be doing this. And thankfully, I already had plenty of string from said spiders. So let's see, grab the string, grab the wool. I need a total of 18. And by making this, we're going to be able to have it cost less every time we want to make something. So let's toss that in there. And now this is going to take 1 per. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead, and the smallest number that we can make is 4. Okay, so we're going to make 4 of these. And then with these 4, we can go ahead and make the Thaumaturgist's boots. Okay, now if we do this, we get a 1% V discount. Okay, so now we're going to replace this, and we're going to put this on. So now when we make this, it's going to cost less. So now it's 0.99 instead of 1 total. So we're going to go ahead, and now we're going to make 7 more of these. And this should let us go ahead and make the pants. And now we'll put these on. And that's going to give us another 2%, totaling 3% discount. So, yeah, it's not, just trust me, if you haven't had to go fill your wand yet, then you don't understand how useful it is to use less V. Okay? Charging your wand early game is horrific. It's just horrible. And I'm 1 piece short. How did I do that? It's because I tried to count. I can't count. I know I can't count, but I try to do it anyway. Alright, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and make ourselves this. And this is going to give us another 2%. Alright, so now when we are doing things, it's going to cost us 95% instead of what we would have been charged was 100%. So we have 5% V discount, totaling 2, 2, and 1, so a total of 5%. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, where's the helmet? Well, there is a helmet, and that helmet is in the Goggles of Revealing. The Goggles of Revealing is something that we want absolutely without question, so what we're going to be doing, hopefully I have enough to do this, we want to go ahead and have the Goggles of Revealing is going to require, yeah. So this will also give us another 5% V discount for a total of 10% off while wearing an entire set. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So let's see. We're going to need 4 leather, 2 thermometers. Yeah, give me just a second. I'm going to put this stuff together. I'm going to make enough for 2 of these, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Hopefully I have enough V to do it. We'll find out. Be right back. Alrighty, got it together. Definitely have what we need to make 1 set. So this is going to give us another 5% discount. So we're going to go ahead and put these on so that we can have the discount to make the second one. Thankfully, making all the stuff necessary to make this didn't cost us any V. And now we can go ahead and make our second pair. And we still have actually a pretty decent amount of stuff in here. Alright, so now that we have that, you may ask yourself, well, why did we make 2? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to make something else. I am going to make ourselves an armor stand. The armor stand is from Bibliocraft. It requires 2 pieces of iron and 3 stone slabs. I should have... I know I've got the iron. That wasn't a question. But let's see. Do I have any slabs? Yes, I do. I have actually quite a few slabs. Not really sure why I have a bunch of slabs, but sure, why not? Alright, so the armor stand is going to be actually really useful. Let's put this over here. Let's put this back away. The armor stand is going to be useful in the fact that we can keep an entire set of armor on it, and it will keep it in a place where we can do stuff with. We're going to need 1 lever real quick. Trying to explain it in words sometimes just doesn't work out, so, you know, like, I'm trying to use words, and I shouldn't try to use words. I should just show you, and that's what I'm going to do. So, what we're going to do is we're going to saw the top of your head off. No, sorry. So we're going to put the armor stand right here, and we're going to go ahead and move this particular piece, the crucible. We're going to move it. Actually, we're going to move it off to out here because, yeah, dangerous. And we're going to go ahead and right-click this. Now, when we right-click this, it shows the armor stand, and this is what we're currently wearing. Okay? Now, if we turn this on, then if we right-click, it still shows us the same thing, but if we shift right-click, it takes what we're wearing and switches it to the armor stand. So it's just a shift click and boop, change, 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 change. That quick, that easy. Now, why we made 2 Goggles of Revealing is because we can take our Man of Steel helmet, put the Goggles of Revealing in there with it, and we make the Man of Steel helmet of Revealing. Now, you may ask yourself, why bother switching back and forth? When you put these together, you get the abilities of the Goggles of Revealing, which, by the way, the Goggles of Revealing are basically, it makes it like you're, well, I mean, you can understand it. You're wearing 2 thermometers on or across either of your eyes. You can see aura nodes and stuff of that nature without having to hold something in your hands. You still need a thermometer to scan things like new aura nodes, but this way you can actually just see them. Now, we want that ability all the time, because if we're walking around the world, we don't want to have less armor, but we want to be able to see stuff going on. Now, here it shows that we get a 5% discount. When we combine it with the Man of Steel helmet, we have the Man of Steel helmet of Revealing, which actually looks kind of cool, but we lose the 5% discount, okay? So we have the ability now to still see things, but we don't get the discount. So we have this set of armor is essentially for crafting stuff in Thaumcraft, and the other set of armor that I'm currently wearing, that's now there, is for running around and doing things and still being able to see aura nodes and stuff. Cool? Cool. Alright, so before we get done with this episode, which we have very little time left actually, we're going to do something with the cauldron, okay? Not the cauldron, the crucible. It's made from a cauldron, but whatever. Alright, so one of the things we're going to need to do is we are going to need to supply this thing with fire underneath it to heat it, and we're going to need to supply it with water. Alright, we're going to be using the cauldron for many different things. In this case, we're just going to be making the basic setups for the cauldron. Come here. Alright, so now underneath there, we're going to need to go ahead and light the fire. So you can do this at any number of methods when it comes to fire, but I find it easiest at first to just light a piece of netherrack on fire. Let's see. I don't have my flint and steel on me. I don't know why, but whatever. I have this. I can shoot a fire in it. Now, you can put a block of lava under here. You can just set a fire. You can do pretty much anything you want in that respect. But in this case, we're just going to do it this way because it's, you know, it's simpler. And now we're going to put this back. Because, yeah, it's my blow stuff up gun. I have to keep it. Alright, so now that we actually have this here, you can see that the water has started bubbling, okay? But we don't want to have fire around all the time. What if you have something that can catch fire and burn? Henceforth why I moved it away from my house before lighting it. So one of the things we want to do is we want to use a magical way to heat this that does not give you any trouble in the terms of actually catching things on fire, okay? Oh yeah, and while I'm thinking about it, since we have our full discount going on. Oh, and by the way, you have to have an empty hand for the shift right click to work here. So now we can do this, and it's only 8.1 V instead of 9. So sweet. Now we have 2 Great Wood Wands. It's going to take me twice as long to fill them, but I'll have to go running around filling them half as often. If that makes any sense to anybody, good for you, because, yeah, it's still a pain in the butt to refill these. Now, we will be making refilling our wands easier, but that's a good little bit down the road. So, like I said, first thing we want to do is we want to grab the Thaumonomicon, and we want to look up a part in the alchemy section, and that's going to be Nitor, Mystical Flame. Okay? The Nitor is used by, basically you have to combine a certain number of aspects in the crucible and then throw in a catalyzing agent. Okay? So in this case, we need 3 Lux, 3 Potentia, 3 Ignis, and then we drop in a piece of glowstone to get the resulting product out. Okay, so let's see. The first thing I want is to grab 2 pieces of glowstone. Making a single piece of Nitor is actually a royal pain in the butt. Making 2, however, is a lot simpler. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look at what we have. Okay, coal happens to have 2 Potentia and 2 Ignis. Okay, and we need 3 total, but if we're going to make 2 of these, 2 coal is going to be 4 Potentia and 4 Ignis. 3 coal will be 6 Potentia and 6 Ignis. Okay, And torches have 1 lux in each, so if we take 6 torches, then we have what we need. Okay, so let's walk out here. Now, you want to do this semi-quickly because when you toss something into the crucible, the aspects that are on the item you toss in will... Do you mind? And by the way, this can be a pain sometimes. When you drop this in, it takes it away, and you see that there is 6 lux in there. Okay, if you wait too long, that 6 lux will start to dissipate. So don't take too long doing this, or you won't get your stuff made. Now, because we did this perfectly, we got 2 Nitor out of it, and we have nothing left in the crucible. Okay, if you have anything left over, it will eventually bubble away. It'll basically boil down, and it will become flux. Okay, flux can be a pain to clean up, so try not to have too much of that. But now that we have, and I'll show you examples of flux at some point because we will be running into it. Very few things come out that perfectly, so just so you know. All right, so now that we have this, we can go ahead. I don't know why I did 2 of those. We can go ahead and use the Nitor. If we put it down in the hole there, Nitor, it provides light like a torch, but it also provides heat to start keeping your crucible bubbling, but it also will not catch things on fire. So when we look at this now, it's not bubbling, but the Nitor is under there. Here in a second, we will get it to boil. And there it is, ready to use. So awesome. So one of the things we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have probably a barrel of water closer at hand to this, but that's something for another time. Realistically, we're going to be building ourselves a house for Thaumcraft. Next episode, since we're basically out of time for this episode, next episode I'm going to have to do something. I have a plan for my Thaumcraft house, and I think it's going to be really awesome. However, before I can do that, I am going to need, I don't know, about 200 ender pearls. And I am not going to walk around and try to find them. So next episode, I am going to build ourselves a Enderman farm because we are going to need lots and lots of ender pearls. So let's see. Is there anything else I want to make real quick while I'm thinking about it? Oh, one thing I wanted to cover before it was too late. When you look at your Thaumonomicon and when you're doing research, you might notice that some of these are square researches, some of them are round researches, and some of them are hexagons, 6-sided hex. Okay, the ones that are square mean that you have to do research to get them. The ones that are hexagonal, I can never say that right, means that you can just purchase it outright. Okay, so right here it says click to purchase. Okay, so I can just click these, and it basically takes the required points out of my pool of research points and just purchases the research. Now, I did this on purpose, by the way. I didn't actually care about getting all these researches because this is something I'm rarely going to use. However, when you run out of research points, it'll tell you. It says you do not have the required aspects for this, and you can see that you have a blinking aspect. In this case, it's permutatio or exchange. So if we go into our research table, you'll see that we have none. So if we hit Shift and click, we can go ahead and make ourselves some permutatio, and that will be no problem whatsoever. And now we can go ahead and continue to purchase these. And now we don't have enough again. As a matter of fact, I think we're not going to be able to make enough. Yeah, because we're almost out of Ordo. We're almost out of Ordo. We're going to have to do something about that when it comes to researching, but we'll get into that another time. Next episode, building an Enderman farm, and maybe getting some more basic research points if I have enough time. And then the episode after that will be Building Pretty Buildings Part 2. I have a nice open space right here, and I think that I'm going to make my Thaumcraft room right here. So until then, this is Jurenitis signing off on episode 29 of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what we get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!